All right, so here we are on our third lesson, value tables. And value tables have to do with those additional little symbols that we talked about in that first worksheet where we had the plus and the minus. So a value is one of these. It can either be a plus or it can be a minus, and any WIF can hold a value. We could have a single letter WIF like a P, right? It could be P positive, or it could be P negative, okay? Or it could be a larger WIF, and it also could hold a value. So we're going to jump right into it, and we're going to talk about these value tables, and we're going to talk about initially how these WIFs hold a value. So let's clear this off here, and we'll talk about initially just how we construct a value table. Value table is really very simple. We just have a bar. Up here we have the WIFs, and down here we have the values. Okay? So we'll just start with a very simple one. Let's talk about P here. Okay? And so we're going to evaluate P, and let's do not P. Okay. So this should be pretty simple. This one here, the very first one that we talked about, and this is actually the WIF we're evaluating, is going to be the index. Okay? And then over here in this line, we're going to have the evaluation. I'm just going to put eval right here. Okay. So let's say the index for P, it's just going to hold all the values that P can hold. Well, P is pretty simple. It's just one letter. So it can only hold two values. It can either be positive or negative, right? It could be a plus or a minus. So now we're going to evaluate against the index and say, well, then what would not P be? So if P is positive, then not P would be negative by definition. And if P is negative, then not P is going to be positive. And that's our value table. It's really that simple. We're talking about creating a system where we can evaluate any WIF, and then we can come up with the values. And this can become really, really helpful in figuring out what a WIF is trying to tell you, right? Where its root is. Well, that's not very helpful, right? You don't know what a root is. But anyway, take my word for it, right? We'll get there. But we've got this wonderful little value table, right? All this great stuff, and it's kind of happy. Yay! All right.